So Joe was probed anally.
I was probed anally this week,
How'd it
and
go?
The act was fine. The day before was terrible. I underestimated how uncomfortable the preparation was going to be.
Oh, the yeah, okay. The cleanse, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bizarre. So you have to only drink clear liquids the day before. So I thought, all right, that is going to solve a lot of problems by itself. But then you take this accelerant, you drink this accelerant, and in my case, I had to drink it at 3 p.m. and then again at 9 p.m. And that clears you out, but it takes hours. And you have to be close to the facilities for that entire
I
time.
can't believe we're talking about this shit. Like,
It's like peeing out of your butt.
oh my God.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
I mean, really, we should do it once a year or something just to reset.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought, and I asked. I said, I would not eat anything. I'm not opposed to fasting for 3 days. So next time, I just won't eat for 3 days beforehand.
Is
And
that
that'll make it.
enough? Did the doctor say that's enough to?
No, I asked the lady, and she said that won't make any difference because when you stop eating, your body also stops processing. So whatever was in there when you stopped eating is still going to be in there, which didn't make much sense to me. But this was the lady who put in my IV, so I trust her.
So was it as good for you as it was for the doctor?
I don't know. I mean, he was smiling real big afterwards.
Were you out? Were you under general anesthesia or?
No, I was out. I was out. And the last thing I remember, so as I'm drifting off, is I said, if you take any pictures of my butt, make sure to tag me on OnlyFans. Which I'm not sure if you can even tag things on OnlyFans.
I don't know.
It felt like the right thing to say in the moment.
Did Bree get any video of you coming off the general?
No, it's different. Like when I woke up, I was fine right away. So in that sense, it's not as much fun.
Well, that was nice because we were able to pick the best sellers and things like that. What you found was,
bitch, I can see you falling asleep while I'm telling my story.
I'm not falling asleep. Look, just try it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Two Homeboys podcast. I'm your host, Gabriel Cohen with Classy Art, and my co-host, Joe Walter.
Yes.
Google mechanic extraordinaire.
Yes, thank you. Good to see you, everybody. Well, I don't know why I keep saying good to see you. Like I'm not seeing anybody. Thank you, all 12 of you who are listening. It's so nice to connect with you again. Okay, so I have a legitimate contender now for my bourbon. So this is
fancy bottle.
Calumet Farms 15-year. And on our bourbon adventure, we did not encounter this at all anywhere, but it's really good. I enjoy this, and I would encourage anybody who's into
Calumet Farms.
Yeah. Into the bourbon to give that a shot.
Yeah.
It's a delicious one. So cheers.
Cheers.
And you're drinking the old Wild Turkey again?
Just cup one because I wanted to unseal. On our 2 episodes ago when we were in our home studio, not in High Point, I talked about one of those sampler people at the Specs liquor store.
Yeah.
I came out with like all these bottles, and the sampler person, I was like, "No, I'm good. This is what I tried." And it's called Austin 101. I don't know.
light whiskey.
light whiskey. Um, I did bring some water with me because 100 proof. And by the way, guys, we need like a sign or something. Like, I was fucked up last time looking at the reels. Like, why did we not call it quits? You guys call yourselves friends. Like, what in the hell?
Well, I'm not the, I can't be the police officer of this because I'm as equally as messed up as you are, if not more.
You weren't showing. I was like, just, I don't know. Wait, give me a wink. Alex, you give me a wink. I'm not going to see Joe's.
Yeah. I'm winking all the time.
Mm.
Did you get your taxes done?
Oh, you mean like finished?
Well, you you said that you were going to do your taxes,
Yes.
and the first thing that popped into my head was,
Shouldn't those have been done 6 months ago?
yeah, like
Mhm.
April. How is it that you're just now doing your taxes?
This is the time for me. This is pretty typical. Luckily this year because of I think it was Hurricane Beryl, we had till October 15th or something like that.
Oh, really? Which is
Mhm.
also passed,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm not going to make any deadlines.
so how does that work?
I don't know.
When
Pay a bunch of interest.
okay, so you've got an accountant that files an extension or something? I've never actually done that. I've never, even when I had the Murphy bed stores and it was all on me, it was never so complicated that I couldn't get
Mm,
it done right away.
lucky you.
So how does it work? You file an extension? Oh.
Oh, you're gonna have to refer to Jonathan and or my CPA.
Just magic.
Yeah, just
You just
tell me the number I have to write. But
when
no,
you had to write the check, like you can extend the filing of the paperwork, but you have to send a payment way back in April, right?
so we have to send quarterly payments way back in 2023. So we sent payments in April and June and September, December
Yeah.
for estimated.
So you should be pretty close to accurate by the time you actually get to figuring it out. And then you're just going to pay the interest and the penalty and whatever.
It's not accurate at all. It's just
Oh,
like, here's a big chunk of money. I hope this covers it. And then at the end of the year or in November of next year, we determine how much we paid over or under
okay.
based on 2023 sales. I'm going to go with the over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then this year you'll get rocked with the cons thing, right? So you will have been estimating based on what you did last year. So your estimated payments should be plenty enough to cover whatever the actual is. Or do you ratchet them down once you have a thing like that where you know you're not going to do a lot of business or you're not going to do as
I no, we ratchet them down. It's not just based on last year. It's based on also year to date and the projection of this year and a lot of other things. So,
yeah.
all
Hmm.
right. Yeah.
Nice. So what do you have to do for it? Like, why are you doing something with it now?
Well, I have to prepare everything for the CPA because it's not just the classy art and the Cohen Brother Properties and Cohen Brother Marketing and all. There's like I've got a personal rental property and I've got my home office things and I've got to show all the transactions for all the different things that I'm involved in. So it's preparing the packet for the CPA to then go prepare it again.
And is there any economy of you doing that now for 23? But while you're at it, go ahead and get me all of the stuff for 24 so far.
Mm. Well, that would be nice. I have some like systems and reminders for 2024 But like if I go in, let's say for example, I'm going to get all the transactions out of my bank for this account. And let's say that's the account for my rental property. The time it takes me to get the 11 months worth is the same time it's going to take me to get 1 month's worth or all 12 months worth in January.
Okay.
The ideal situation is do it in January. And as I get all the W 2s and 1099s and all those things prior to March, have everything else ready. That's the ideal situation. That's what I should do.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if that happens.
Well, and like the whole thing sounds like a nightmare.
It is.
Waiting. That like
It is a nightmare. That's why I
because
procrastinate until November. And usually it's October, but there's usually not an extension.
I gotcha. Yeah, because when I'm doing mine, just keeping track of where the different forms are, where the 1099s are, and where the, all of that stuff is that you get from the different banks and mortgage companies and that kind of thing. Keeping track of all that,
That part's easy for me. I have
7
a
months
folder.
after.
I have a 2024 folder, and it starts in January when I get the first doc, and everything just gets dumped in there.
Oh,
And then near October of 2025, I'll start sorting through all the shit that's in there with little notes to remind myself of things I did for next year or last year. It's very memento. Yeah. There's post-its everywhere. There's reminders in my phone. Hey, don't forget that thing that you did with the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
know a hard time even remembering what the reminders were about.
oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm doing like full paragraphs in the reminders now.
That's become another job.
Hmm.
Just keeping up with all that. So what are you drinking?
Well, I cheated.
It's interesting
This
because
What's
go ahead.
interesting.
I'm cheating too. So I want to hear how you're cheating.
I'm cheating because this is last episode's bottle or 2 episodes ago, I guess.
Okay.
So I have not. How are you cheating?
Okay. Mine's going to be way different. But it's ironic that you say that because I was going to use last episode's bottle also because I'm out of like the only thing I have left are fancy things. And so,
This is the perfect opportunity. I'm not saying I'm cheating on the whole bottle. I just had to get one in.
okay.
I've
Yeah,
had
no,
a
no.
day.
I'm cheating in a different way. And then I've got a backup in case you call me out on the cheating.
Okay, so I'm calling you out.
Okay, so here's the cheat part is we had decided that we were going no drink November, which was a thing that we had invented. And people do dry January. Well, fucking
Sober
January is
October.
impossible. We've got
Yeah.
markets and other things in addition to just the furniture market. So we said, well, November will be perfect. We'll get done at High Point Market. So that's always a heavy drinking time. And then we don't have much going on in November. We are not doing anything for Thanksgiving this year. So we don't have to worry about that. It'll be just the two of us. So we had decided that we were going to do no drinking in November. And I have been, so last weekend, I'm telling my mom about it. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't had anything to drink. She's like, it's only the 7th. I haven't drank all month. so, so what I got for the podcast to try to maintain this is a 0 proof whiskey alternative Ritual.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I found this on some kind. I was served some ad for non-alcoholic whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much Easter egg.
It
It's
tastes.
giving vinegar. so this is what I said. Like the other day we were talking about what time to do this, and you said, "Well, I can't do it early in the day because I have stuff I have to do, and I don't want to,
Be
be lit
drunk.
up and then trying to do my serious work." So then I thought, "Well, man, I can't just leave him hanging and do no drinking while we're doing this." So I do have a backup that is full proof. But I figured we might give this a shot, right? Like that's
Yeah, you gotta try it.
interesting and see
Yeah,
what.
I gotta try it. But sorry, Bree. Business first.
Well, the other irony of it is that she's had two bachelorette weekends back to back. So she drank this weekend and she
Oh,
drank
all
last
right.
weekend too.
So you get today and an extra.
Yeah. So let's see.
I think it's interesting how your cup has two balls.
But I don't. Okay, so I can say with full confidence, hold on, well, it's absolutely disgusting. That
What does it taste like?
it tastes like vinegar. It tastes like apple cider vinegar.
No.
Yeah, it's really bad. It doesn't taste like whiskey at all.
What'd you pay for that?
I think $34.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
And he keeps going back for more.
Well, I gotta finish it so I don't mess up because I have a good one. I have something really good to drink, and now I wish that I had brought a second glass. I don't want to ruin this good stuff with that.
Go run and get a second glass.
Mm.
We'll do a timeout.
A few moments later.
So this is you were in the liquor store and the dude there was giving out samples. Did they have it was a guy, not like
No, they had
not
cute,
a young lady.
cute little ladies.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have stopped for the guy. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I actually didn't stop for the cute ladies. My hands were full. I went in for one thing. I came out like this, and they're trying to stop me. And I'm like, I don't have hands. And I tried it. It was good. Let's see how it is today. I mean, it could change.
And did they give it to you straight up or did they
Straight up.
okay. And what would you say as a cost on something like that?
I think it was like 45, $50.
So
Maybe even less.
more than the cheap stuff, but not
Not
bougie.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's so light.
Yeah, it looks like it's been watered down already.
Yeah. Nope.
Not
That is spicy. Not like as spicy as one would think for 100 proof, but
now, okay, so now do what
thing.
you learn in bourbon class and swish it around and then take it again. I'm going to do it too. So what he's doing is he's swishing it for 10 seconds. Then he's going to exhale after he swallows it. And then the next sip is going to have a totally different flavor. This kind of burns the inside of your mouth and takes away some of the sting. So now
yeah, but you gotta go through the big sting.
Yeah, because that's a big sting, right? That swishing.
It's like a Scope commercial. Yeah, no, it still burns. Not nearly as much, but it's stout. But not like a hard drink stout.
When I
Not like it's like not stout enough that I wouldn't drink it again or more of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am going to put water because it's a long evening. I never do this. I make fun of people for that.
That's all right. I could mix a little of my vinegar juice with it.
Ugh.
I like putting a little bit of water in it and taking the edge off just a little bit.
I know you do.
Generally.
You were the people I was referring to when I said I make fun of people who do that.
Thank you. Now my nose is running. How embarrassing.
So there's so many current events to talk about, but because we have a week or two delay in getting out all the reels from last episode, there's no point in talking about the election or the Tyson fight or any of the things.
There absolutely is.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, it'll be as relevant as it is anyways.
Okay.
So, so did you watch the Tyson fight?
I did, or I tried to.
Yeah. Oh, you had, it's funny because as I'm watching it, I can't just watch TV anymore. I've got to
I'm
also be
TikToking at
looking
the
at my
same
phone.
time.
Yeah. And I'm seeing all those posts
Yep.
about Netflix glitching out on people. I had zero problems.
You asshole.
I don't know.
Yeah, I had to keep going back and resume, back and resume, back and resume. It got
Jeez.
better by the time it was the main event. But I think I had to restart it like 2 or 3 times during the main event. But before that, it was like, you got 10 seconds and that's all you got.
Wow.
I almost
Geez.
gave up.
Did you watch the entire program?
No. I did catch the tail end of what should have been the main event, was the 2 chicks fighting.
Yeah. Friggin' badass.
Yeah.
They
But
were beasts. Yeah.
I
Very
feel
impressive.
used.
Yeah. Yep. Are you a boxing fan?
I have been at periods in my life. I don't know that I'm not following anybody. I'm not tuning into major events. Somebody has a party or something, you know, I'll attend, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to tune in. I did tune in for this because I
Yes, so
hate
did I.
Jake Paul and I love Mike Tyson. Of course, I didn't always love Mike Tyson. I thought he was a badass when we were kids.
Right.
And I watched all the fights back then, but he was also a piece of shit human.
Right.
But like, I have so much respect for him because of who he became post boxing career and his newfound appreciation for love and God and psychedelics and just
Pigeons.
all the things. Yeah. And
After prison.
significantly after prison.
Yeah.
If prison didn't do it to him, it was the real world. But yeah, like I tell people all the time, like I think Tyson's kind of a genius, or very, very intelligent rather. And it's been hidden all these years. And for people that don't follow him or see him on social media and get to hear some of the really profound things he says, they don't know that. They just know the old Tyson. But I
Right.
didn't well, like I was all geared up because you see all the footage of him training and he looks on point. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
savage. And I'm like, I can't wait. If he had 40% of the old Tyson, it would have been enough to lay Jake Paul out. But he didn't have 2%. And he looked like an old man,
Yeah.
and it's clear that it was just an exhibition. Nobody was trying to knock each other out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I was supremely disappointed in that thing. And I want Jake Paul is clearly pursuing this boxing line. And I believe that he wants to be taken seriously as a boxer. I don't think that he's doing it only for the paydays. And I think that he had the chance here to start being taken seriously if Mike Tyson would have knocked him out. If then we would have said, okay, this was a legitimate fight. Like Tyson really, or at least knocked him down, or hit him hard enough that we all would have,
Yeah.
had
Well,
a reaction.
there's so many things I see on social media about like what was in the contract. And I don't know if that comes on your feed too, but you don't know what's real and what's not, because there was some bullshit like for the first fight before it got postponed. But I think one of the things was Mike Tyson wasn't allowed to throw uppercuts, which
Oh,
was his
really?
classic move, and that's crazy. Like let's just eliminate a type of punch.
Yeah.
It was weird. I
It
felt
was weird.
bad for him in there.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. It looked like an old guy just
Yeah.
either trying to hang on to this or just doing it for the payday.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles still touring.
Yeah. Well, but Mike Tyson was kind of known for always fighting just for the payday. Because he
Oh, I didn't realize that.
yeah, he would fight, he would get paid, and he'd blow it all and then have to fight again. And he talks about it, like, he bought women houses and shit, like, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It was disappointing all the way around. I think that Jake had an opportunity to make it good and he just didn't do it. I mean,
I saw
in something like that, not allowing uppercuts, let Mike Tyson be Mike Tyson. And
I saw a photo and it said something of Mike Tyson had the opportunity to have the best possible thing, and it was Jake bowing at the end of that 8th round where Tyson could have just bam.
yeah,
That would have been fucking amazing.
yeah, yeah. Good point. But it in a way turned me on to boxing in general. So I think in that sense, it was a huge victory for the sport. I would have never watched those ladies fight. And I was so intrigued
And now
by the
you're gonna
whole thing.
watch.
Like I watched every bit of that. And it's like really interested and it made me interested in the sport.
So are you gonna watch moving forward?
I don't think I will stop my day or order pay-per-view to watch, but if I was flipping through channels or if I was flipping through networks looking for something and I saw that there was some boxing on that seemed legit, I would stop and watch it now, where I would never even considered doing that before.
Okay.
Almost like the UFC is kind of like that for me. I'm interested in that, not interested enough to pay for it on the night it comes out, but interested enough to watch it if I catch it in passing. So,
Yeah.
and female boxing, like they
That's
were more
crazy.
interesting than the dudes.
Yeah. The women are gonna be the NBA and the men are gonna become the WNBA.
Right. Yeah, that could happen. So we had that.
Okay.
And then the election.
Yeah. Who'd you vote for, Joe?
I'll never tell you.
I know that. So weird.
I don't think it's weird at all. But everybody around me finds it weird. And even my son, he said, he told me who he voted for. And then he said, who are you voting for? And I said, I really don't want to tell you. And he's like, why don't you want to tell? Like, I'm your son. You can tell me. And I said, I've done very well in life not talking to anybody about who I vote for. Because as soon as you tell somebody who you vote for, they make assumptions about who you are as a person and what you believe. And, and those assumptions can be, if you say that you voted for this person, they could assume that you agree with everything that person does, or that you disagree with everything the other person does. And I just don't like, there are things on both sides that I agree with.
And disagree with.
And disagree. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's just, it's one of those things that I think I'm better off not talking to people about it.
Okay. Your son. Okay.
Even my parents too. Same thing. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I think like my parents growing up told us never tell people how much money you make and never tell them who you vote for.
Yeah.
I remember that growing up.
And did you follow that? Like, did you tell anybody who you voted for?
Yeah, all the time. I'm not gonna do it here. Not now. Not because of you.
See, and that's the other thing is I also don't ask unless it's in jest. Like if I get a shot at a joke, I'll ask.
Yeah.
To try to be funny. But
yeah.
otherwise, I don't ask people either. I wouldn't ask my son,
Mm.
like, because I have those same biases about people. As much as I don't want to have them, somebody tells me who they vote for, then I make inferences about what that person believes.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I don't think
Okay.
that it's right, but there it is. What I have found interesting about the election is how quiet it seems since. And maybe it's just my social media, but it was popping up everywhere. Both sides were popping up everywhere. And not with advertisements per se, just like interview clips and news articles and all kinds of stuff. And now I don't see anything from anybody.
Mine's full. Still
Is
full.
it?
Yeah, yeah. It's full of pro-Trump stuff and what has happened since the election, even though he's not in office. And oh no, I get a lot of the like Kamala payoff stuff, like the paid endorsements, which is crazy. Um, I get a lot of RFK stuff, which I'm not opposed to. I'm a big fan of RFK.
That
Uh,
voice, though.
I
Oof.
I know, I know,
Dude, I'm
but
sure that it's public knowledge why he's that way, but it's not
yeah,
crossed over my
yeah.
radar.
I saw him talking about. Somebody asked him. I saw it months ago. I don't remember what he said, but yeah, it's tough to listen to. But I love what he's doing,
Yeah,
and
and
I'm a big fan of Elon.
right.
I will say this. I will say that I voted for RFK and Elon Musk.
Mm, yeah.
And
Well, it's funny. I was talking to my brother this weekend, and there's a movie on Prime. I think it's Prime, called The Apprentice. And so it's about Donald Trump in his early years. Like when in that the time when he's working for his dad, and then he kind of moves into building Trump Tower and Trump Plaza. It's like right about that time period where he's just kind of getting started in his real estate career. It's not really political at all. And it probably ends in the 80s. So I didn't see it as anything political, but it was a very interesting movie. And the guy who played him did a really great job. But what was interesting to me about it, or one of the things that was kind of striking, was this was a guy for so long as a kid, he was just like the rich guy, and this rich famous guy. And when you were little and you got birthday money, your parents would say, "What are you, Trump now?" It was just, he was like that guy that we all knew as the rich guy,
mhm.
and limousines and helicopters and everybody. I wanted to be Trump when I was a teenager. I thought that, that's the kind of life that I want to have, is, just
You
be
wanted to be
rich.
a boss bitch?
Yeah. So then I started thinking about, Elon Musk is, or Jeff Bezos is kind of, maybe he's that guy for today's teenagers. Like they're just like, oh, I want to be Elon Musk when I grow up. I want to
Mhm.
be the richest guy in town, and or I want to be Bezos and have a yacht. And maybe it's without really kind of understanding their politics or their business. They're just like the well-known rich guy
Mhm.
who's not old like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, or Zuckerberg, another example. Like, I want to be Zuckerberg. Maybe that's what the little kids say now.
I don't think
What if
so. I don't think so.
25 years from now, one of those guys is president?
Yeah.
Like, we would have never expected back then that Trump would be president someday. And so,
Well, there's old interviews of people saying, "Would you ever run for president?"
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
there's
still,
that.
like, I mean, as a teenager, I didn't think that
Yeah,
that was a thing. I mean, just
right.
didn't think about it. He was just a rich guy, and that was it. That was what made him interesting, was being rich. So, and maybe there are interviews now with people saying that to Elon, saying, "Hey, would you be president someday?" And now he's like, "Well, I don't know." He's coy about it, but 25 years from now, maybe
Yeah.
he is
Right.
running for president.
Yeah. I love that they named his department Doge.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Do you think that will really happen? Because I've heard that that the president can't just create a department. Congress has to do it. I don't know if that's
I don't
true.
know. I don't know how it all works. I do know that Republicans took both the Senate and the House. So
They should be
not
able
th-
to get done whatever they
it
want.
would be significantly easier to, but they don't all back Trump too. So, Trump's somewhat controversial.
Yeah.
He's not their typical puppet. So we'll find out. I know the coin's done well.
Right.
So it hit 42 cents. Like I'm a happy camper. But yeah, I mean, I think if anybody can determine or cut unnecessary spending, it's Elon. And if anybody can work on American health, it's RFK. And they're both very good at a lot of things, but I like those two specifically. I think they're both of them would excel in any role you put them in, but I love that that's their roles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. 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 They're it's interesting. It makes me wonder, especially with Elon, like, how do you get all that stuff done?
How do you get the time?
I
I
don't
know.
like,
And he seems involved in all of them. Like
yeah.
he's not just some absent owner. Like he's involved.
And maybe that's his superpower. I think about that a lot lately with, people having a superpower, and maybe that's is that he's able to understand and be involved in all these different things simultaneously.
Yeah. What's your
I know.
superpower? You've been thinking about it so much.
Uh, advertising for furniture stores.
So cheap.
Google. I wish I had a better superpower. Self-deprecating humor.
You're pretty good. You're pretty good.
I'm good at that one.
Pretty good, yeah.
What do you think is your superpower?
I think that, and Jonathan has it too. I think that we have a innate ability to make people feel welcomed and open up, feel comfortable enough to open up and share things they may not have shared with anybody else, and to
Yeah.
connect people. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I have that one too. I would think that your superpower is also teaching.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you are
I'm not a teacher.
teaching, or you are a fucking teacher. Teaching and influencing folks.
Okay.
I think is something that you're particularly gifted at. So, you get involved in things and get so deep and passionate about it and learn everything. Maybe learning also would be one where you have this ability to learn everything there is to know about a particular topic and retain that. And then folks end up mimicking the things that you're doing. So I've seen that several times, keto and spirituality, and now gardening. And, I think that you're in your infancy in your gardening journey, but, you do it and you do it for a year or two, and then everybody else starts doing it, and it was the same thing with keto. And then I think you were really ahead of the curve on the spirituality stuff. were out there doing it, and then you start talking about it, and everybody's like, "Oh my, like I want to try that. I want to do that." You know.
Well, thank you.
So, yeah, you're welcome. And officiating.
Oh yeah. Maybe that'll catch on as a trend too.
Yeah, so we're in the final 30 days.
Final 30 days.
The countdown is on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I was surprised to see the
Yeah.
vows. When y'all said brief, I mean, y'all
Yeah.
been brief.
Yeah, you know, it's not going to be there's a lot of things that are going to be brief about this ceremony, like or different. Like I think our goal is to have it be more party than pomp. And so there won't be any garter thing, throwing of the flowers,
Cut the cake.
we're no
She doesn't
cake.
want any of that.
No, there won't even be a cake. We're not
Oh
having cake.
shit! Were you having pie?
That
Have some
would be
fucking
really
dessert.
That would be really good. We should have a wedding pie and do it in multiple layers. Oh my God, that would be so great. Damn it.
Not too late.
It's not too late. It's not too late. No, we're gonna have like a champagne tower. I don't want to give out all
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
nobody's gonna see this. So it'll take Alex until after the middle of December to get the reels done anyways. Just kidding, Alex. I love you. You did it fast this time. But yeah, we're not gonna have a lot of the, you know, those customary things. You know, there's no bridal parties. There's no I don't know. We're not
We get it. We got it.
Am I going too far? Is it too much explanation?
No, keep going. You're fine.
So, yeah, it's exciting.
Okay.
I'm ready.
It is exciting. I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah. So, while we're on the topic, yeah, the vows are short. And what we're thinking is that you will just ask us to repeat them to each other as, you know, one would normally do. You know, just like you say, Joe, do you blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then Bree, do you did. And so even though they're the same, you know, like we're both saying the same thing to each other. So
Yeah,
you will
I
ask
got
us.
it. I got it.
All right.
Okay.
It's my first drink in 14 days.
Oh,
Or wait,
how deep are you? Let's see.
17 days. I've already refilled once.
Oh, all right.
There's barely anything in there. Very thirsty. So, were there other current events that we missed?
There's got to be something happening actually in the furniture business. We should probably talk a little bit about that.
Well, I am. I'm really interested in all these articles. I know it's a sore topic, but this cons thing,
Yeah.
and how elaborate it has become, and how deep, you know, these ties run, and it's baffling. I read every article, and I still can't figure out who did what. Are you paying attention to any of it?
No, not anymore. There's one guy. I don't want to name names because I'm going to get it wrong. Who's done a really good job? Like that's become his career now, is following this story. But you know, the other most current event is the franchise group is now bankrupt. And
but they're keeping everything except for American Freight. So they're keeping the Vitamin Shop and Pet Supply USA or whatever. They have several
So
companies.
then why did they file bankruptcy? So I'm kind of like, I don't believe everything I read as it relates to this particular topic. Um, so Buddies is a very long-standing customer of ours, and they are owned by the franchise group. And just to rewind a little bit, the franchise group are the people who bought Badcock as well, who sold all the real estate, sold all the payables, or I'm sorry, receivables, and basically gutted the company and then sold it to Cons for Con stock, and then how that goes down. But so now the franchise group as a whole files bankruptcy, which okay. So but then American Freight filed bankruptcy, right?
Well, no, I think that franchise group filed, and the condition or whatever was that they are closing American Freight and
Only.
they're keeping everything else
So
open.
then the question is why? Well, keeping open and getting bankruptcy protection are two separate conversations, because once you file, you're protected under bankruptcy law against creditors.
Right.
And so I don't know, it's all very confusing. So, Buddies is continuing to operate like normal, but there's some intricacies involved with like what do they call them? Like not critical vendors. Like necessary vendors. I forget the terminology, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting really tired of navigating the bankruptcy systems.
Yeah. It's been a really bizarre time, and then Big Lots also. So Big Lots is big, I always thought of Big Lots as a place where you would buy cereal and lamps and towels and stuff, but apparently there's a lot of furniture sold through
Mhm.
Big Lots too, and they have filed. But I think there's a difference. Like Big Lots is going to continue to exist. They'll get rid of a handful of stores, but I think, will continue to operate. And on this franchise group thing, I think that the reason, or my understanding is the reason that they're liquidating the American Freight stores is because most of the stores were company owned. Whereas with Buddies and the Pets and the Vitamin Shop, a lot of the stores were franchises. So the way I interpret that is there's not a lot to get from the franchise. Like you liquidate Vitamin Shop, and if most of the stores are franchises, there's not a bunch of assets to liquidate. You're just giving away this cash cow who pays you royalties.
Mhm.
Whereas with the American Freight, you're actually getting rid of all of that merchandise. If it's company owned stuff and company owned stores with leases or whatever, you can dump a lot of that and get some benefit out of it, where if most of your stores are franchised, you can't. What happened? You gone.
I'm back.
Good to have you back.
Thanks.
So, but within this, the franchise group thing, like they loaned money to the investment group that B. Riley. They're intertwined with B. Riley, who was the owner of or a big investor in the Cons Badcock thing. So it's like all of this stuff is
It's
intertwined
all
in this
so
weird way.
intertwined.
Yeah. I
And
mean, there
doesn't
could be a movie about this.
Oh, yeah, like a Enron deal.
It's what it feels like.
Yeah. I don't know, I just wanna do business above ground, like, in the open without all the shady shit. Can we just
And
do business?
well, that it makes me feel like there's a whole level of stuff out there that we don't understand.
Right, well, there is probably a lot of them. Speaking of which, I'm so excited to have a congressional hearing with the, The alien talks, the UAP talks. That's a current event. Have you been seeing that or
No,
keeping?
no. So elaborate.
So there was one prior that I've brought up briefly. This one was for high-ranking officials in various departments of our government, um, under oath, talking about these programs that we have UAPs in our possession, we have alien life forms in our possession. It's all kept under wraps. It's been hidden from the public. It's been hidden from the government. It's been hidden from everybody, and they're out talking about it. And they live in the water. So that's kind of the big thing is, I mean, all this other stuff we knew, but I mean, to a degree, some people choose to believe or don't believe. If you don't believe, you, come on, man. Like, how do you deny? But that's the big thing is like they live in the water. And I think some live in the water, right? Because there's an infinite number of beings and an infinite number of places and an infinite number of dimensions. So, but yeah, the ones that I think are kind of the forefront of the conversation live under the ocean or in the ocean. That's kind of
So
crazy. Sean called me freaking out today.
really,
Yeah. You know, he's
so
scared of everything. You know, sorry,
is he?
Sean. Yeah, yeah. I have a TikTok where I'm coming behind him and putting a rubber snake on him. It doesn't even touch him. Like he doesn't even see it. Like he can feel it from this far away. He feels it and freaks out. Like he's petrified of all
Huh.
the things.
In
Like
particular, aliens.
aliens are a big one. Yeah. And he knows I'm a big fan. So, he calls me right out the gates, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't doubt that there are aliens. Like it's a big universe, galaxy.
Do you doubt that they are here?
No, I also don't doubt that they're here. And I don't doubt that the government would hide them from us. The the actual part that I would doubt would be that they would tell us about it. Like
Right.
what does the government have to gain by now admitting that yeah, we're aware of all of this and we've been studying it for a long time. And like what is the upside to the government?
Well, I think it's a slow progression. Like, there's a word full disclosure, no, complete disclosure, something like that, something disclosure. There's some word that they're afraid of, uh, because like it leads to chaos or something, and so they're kind of gradually leaking these things out. And I think it's fascinating too. Like we had a hearing and we had these high ranking officials come forward and we've had lots of things like that that made headlines and like a week later they're gone. They're covered by fucking Diddy or whatever it is. And it's like there's aliens here. We
Yeah.
fucking know it now. And like they're telling us. And we're just gonna next topic, please.
And why is it so intriguing to you? Because you've been intrigued by this alien stuff before this.
Yeah. Um because my belief system um so and bear with me folks. This is going to get fucking weird.
The
Um
101, the Austin 101 is kicking in.
yeah, so my belief system from the things that I've researched and experienced in my lifetime is that um these aliens or beings that are here, whether they're in this particular 3D reality or in other dimensions that exist in this time and place, are spiritual beings that have been here long before us and will be here long after us and have had a major impact in who we are as a species and where we came from. And I think that most religious scriptures and tablets and all the things stem from that world. I mean, it's this world, but those stories. And so, um, yeah, that's why it's interesting to me. And um, heard a lot of testimonials from people who've had encounters that have these beings have performed miracles on them, that are really, it's hard not to believe these people when you see the authenticity in the tears of them telling the story. And for a while I was intrigued in summoning these crafts or beings. And during that time, while I was never able to successfully summon one, I have several friends from different walks of life that don't know each other that have successfully done them and have successfully had encounters. Actually, one without the intention of doing so. And I know this person for a long time, and she's not like, she doesn't want attention. She doesn't lie. She's actually kind of a big to do in both Hollywood and in the government. And she's very straight laced, like would never touch alcohol. Like, and she calls me freaking out in the middle of the night, like with this story that just happened. I- It's just, it's not fake, and she knew I was kind of into the things. Um, so there's so much more to the story than, "Oh, there are things here," or "There's little green people." You know what I mean? Like, there's more to it, and, I'm a curious person, and,
Right.
I wanna learn. I wanna know what it is, how can they help, um, those kinds of things.
We're not talking about furniture anymore, right?
No. Furniture
This
seems so irrelevant at this point.
this is this is gonna be 2 hours of talking about everything in 15 minutes of talking about furniture.
5.
Um, are you not afraid? Like, so what if you summon them and they come and all they want to do is eat you or, you know, take something? I mean, they could be evil. Like not
I
everybody
very
could, or they could be like a
strongly
shark, or
very
a lion.
strongly don't believe that that's the case. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't, um, evil entities that exist here and now and elsewhere in the universe. I think they do. I think there are other species that are protecting our race. And I think the all the conversations about good and evil in the Bible and other religious scriptures have more to do with the battle between good and evil within those alien species.
Hmm. I don't want to summon them.
That's fine.
So when when you come here, don't summon them then.
That's a good idea. Thanks for the idea, bro.
I'm happy not knowing and
To all the listeners out there, if this is of interest to you, I highly recommend looking up. There's a documentary called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Now, there's a lot of movies and documentaries out there called Close Encounters. Make sure it's Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And there the first half of it is kind of talking about where our government's been with it and how they hide it and how CIA is involved in Hollywood to give us all these visuals and ideas and things like that. But the second half of it talks about a subculture within the US and maybe globally, who do this summoning, which it's all, um, I don't want to say spiritually based, but it's like based in a form of meditation. Anyways, It's fascinating. Just watch it. I don't want to give it away. Just watch it, and I think you'll be blown away. And know that I have had, like I said, I have friends that have successfully done what's being talked about in that movie with receipts.
And that's better than the Lazar stuff, because I watched that.
Yeah, the Lazar stuff is good, but this is better. I mean, depends on what you want. You want to know they're real? Watch the Bob Lazar. You want to know how to get in contact with them and what they are? Watch Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't negate the Bob Lazar story. Like Element 115 showed up on our it's on our periodic table now. And if you haven't seen that movie, just go watch any documentary on Bob Lazar. But Element 115 is kind of like the key point, the key takeaway from everything about Bob Lazar and his story. And it's now on our periodic table.
And none of that has anything to do with the stuff that, oh my gosh, the guy that was on Joe Rogan with that narrows it down. The actor, what's his name?
There's
The
a lot of
actor
actors.
The guy who was talking about the Flower of Life or whatever it was.
Oh, Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, no, not related.
These are
Maybe.
unrelated things.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure there's some overlap when it comes to energy and things like that, frequency. But yeah, unrelated.
Yeah. All right. Well, segue. I had my first colonoscopy this week. We're talking about shit.
We're going to call it an anal probe because we need to smooth out the transition. So Joe was probed anally.
I was probed anally this week.
How'd it go?
The act was fine. The day before was terrible. I underestimated how uncomfortable the preparation was going to be.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The cleanse, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bizarre. So you have to only drink clear liquids the day before. So I thought, all right, that is going to solve a lot of problems by itself. But then you take this accelerant, you drink this accelerant. And in my case, I had to drink it at 3 p.m. and then again at 9 p.m. And that clears you out, but it takes hours. And you have to be close to the facilities for that entire time.
I can't believe we're talking about this shit. Like,
it's like peeing out of your butt.
Oh my God.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
I mean, really, we should do it once a year or something just to reset.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought, and I asked, I said, I would not eat anything. I'm not opposed to fasting for 3 days. So next time I just won't eat for 3 days beforehand.
Is that enough? Did the doctor say that's enough to?
No, I asked the lady and she said that won't make any difference because when you stop eating, your body also stops processing. So whatever was in there when you stopped eating is still going to be in there, which didn't make much sense to me. But this was the lady who put in my IV, so I trust her.
So was it as good for you as it was for the doctor?
I don't know. I mean, he was smiling real big afterwards.
Were you out? Were you under general anesthesia or?
No, I was out. I was out. And the last thing I remember, so as I'm drifting off, is I said, if you take any pictures of my butt, make sure to tag me on OnlyFans. Which I'm not sure if you can
Did
even tag things on
I
OnlyFans,
don't
but it
know.
felt like the right thing to say in the moment.
Did Bree get any video of you coming off the general?
No, it's different. Like when I woke up, I was fine right away. So in that sense, it's not as much fun.
I had both a colonoscopy and endoscopy on the same day years ago.
Oh,
And it
really?
and
Did
when
they
I was
check
fading
inside
out,
you?
I told the doctor, "Make sure you go in the mouth first."
Don't mix up the tubes.
Yeah, I'm not an ATM type of guy. I'm a gentleman.
Oh my gosh. Why did you have that?
I don't remember.
What was good? I mean,
It was a
something
long
had to be
time
going
ago.
on. That's not
I need
customary.
answers. Damn it. I
So,
don't remember. It was a long time ago.
yeah. Well, apparently you're okay.
I'm still alive.
So they found a couple of polyps and they
Yeah.
took them out. And I said, "Are they
Did you save
like,
them?
what's the deal?" And he's like, "I don't know. They tasted normal to me."
Oh my god. Ugh.
So I think I'm okay. I think everything's good.
Oh jeez. So
There you go.
that was a
Alex
fun
should be able to
topic.
cut that into a 1-minute clip.
Shit. What's next? We've talked about buttholes, talked about aliens. Jesus. Maybe we should
Uh,
talk about therapy.
how? Yeah, right. Need it. How was market for you?
Absolutely incredible. So we don't have all the final numbers because a lot of the majors take time to put together their POs, but we know for a fact it was a record breaking market. Um,
That's so bizarre. Like, and it can't be record breaking from an attendance standpoint, right? Like you're tracking the number of people who come in, and then of
yeah,
course the orders and the commitments and
I would
the
say from an attendance
book.
standpoint, I can say is a record breaking attendance from the Arabic community. Um, but the record breaking I was referring to prior was just dollars and
Yeah,
cents. Yeah. I mean, um, after each market, you have, one or two people that they're like, wait a second, like I ordered too much. I need to back up off this a little bit. Let me get the other half of it, in a month or two. We have a lot of people that are doing that this market. And I think what happens, like when people shop our showroom, they never look at prices because they know Classy Arts bringing value all the time, or we'd never bring it to market.
right.
And so they just beat, 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 beat. But this new release was so stellar. I mean, we really took it up several notches. And so I think people got excited and overzealous and beep, 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 beep. And but
Yeah, because you don't have anything that's excessively high priced
no, and we
or
never
high
will.
priced at all, really. I
We
mean,
won't.
it's all relatively low.
Right.
But when they add 100 items, when they're used to adding 50 items,
Right.
then
All of a
that's
sudden
when
it's like,
it
holy shit. Yeah, exactly. But nobody came in and said, I don't see anything I like. Nobody came in and said, I don't see anything new. Like it was it was great. Yeah, we were pleased. And we
and
hope to keep that momentum going,
how long does it take? Like when you have a good market, how long does it take before you feel it?
immediately,
Like you feel it right away.
right away. And it continues for several months. But people don't come to Classy Art to like they're there to write orders. So when we get home, it's crunch time, like fire up the smokestacks kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, then I saw something from one of the publications that said attendance was down, which I was pleasantly surprised to see from the publication because I feel like they have ways of twisting it to make it sound like, it's always up. There's
Right, right.
always, there's so many people registered, or they choose their words in a way to make it
Well,
sound
the
positive.
joke of the industry is attendance was down, but order writing was brisk.
Hmm. Yeah, well, and I think that is the way that it's going to be now. As you have fewer and fewer independent stores, you're going to have less people visiting.
Well, so I'm glad you said that because it ties back to the conversation of all of these bankruptcies. And yes, business has been tough, but I think what's happening is with all of these bankruptcies of these major players, and in markets everywhere, you know, for the last couple years, it's opening up a lot of demand for these independents. What I'd like to see is some of these independents go into the inner city or major markets, I guess you would say, where it's typically all the majors and none of the independents. Um, but I think it opens up a lot of opportunity. So time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think that the independents are going away, but there are, I think where they exist is going to be different. It's hard to exist in the bigger cities, in the Houstons and the Tampas and
Right.
maybe not New York, because it's a different kind of
Yeah,
thing,
it's a
but
whole different animal.
in these major metro areas, Charlotte, Chicago. Well, Chicago's a different thing too, but where you have a whole bunch of
But
major
yeah,
chains.
but like there's a whole bunch of new demand that is being unsatisfied now in those markets. So if there were ever an opportunity, now is the time.
Yeah,
Is that a snare drum in your background?
I'm glad you asked. Yes, it is a snare drum. And my one plant that I've been able to keep alive is there. Well, there's two plants, but that's a real plant that grows. But I saw a snare drum. We were at some antique store, and they had a snare drum hanging on the wall, and I thought that's kind of cool. And so I thought I'm going to get a snare drum to hang on the wall,
And now
which
it's sitting
this this is
on.
the lazy, like I haven't hung it on the wall yet, but um I've had drum kits throughout my life, and I've never been any good at playing any of them, but every few years I like to get a drum kit just to bang on. And
Yeah.
so I went on Amazon, and like, if you don't care what it sounds like, you're just buying it for decoration, you can get a snare drum really cheap. So I bought two of them, and I have another one. I have another one under my desk to bang on. And Bree said, "Are you going to take lessons?" And I was like, "No, no. There's no. I'm not concerned with having any skill at this. I just want to bang on a drum once in a while."
And go grab it. Let's bang on it.
Well,
Just happen to bring one to the set.
and then I got my neighbor just put their house up for sale. I can't figure out what happened. So there you go. That's the drum.
All right, yeah. So we've decided that Joe is sticking to the Google career.
Well, it pays mediocre, and you get a modest level of fame out of it.
And you get to buy all the snare drums you want.
Yes. I can buy almost, I have so much money. I can buy almost anything I want that's under $29. It's really remarkable. I made it.
Well
I
done,
have
sir.
made it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
Thank
proud
you.
of you. I knew you would one day.
Yeah, I've been trying really hard.
Mm.
So
I'm going to call a timeout
4?
because we're sweating balls in here. I need to go check the AC. I turned it on, I turned it up, but like this is like
Well, anyways, so folks, I'm also sweating, but you don't see me calling time out. I just deal with it. I'm not a sissy boy who's got to take a break because it's getting a little warm under the bright hot lights of the studio. So, between two palms, I think that's the name of this new podcast. Gabe's fake palm trees there. Between two dusty palms. Alex, how you been, buddy?
I've been chilling. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah, I've been chilling.
Good.
Just trying to edit all of Gabe's testimonials on time so he doesn't yell at me.
Oh. Does he yell at you often?
He's so abusive.
He likes it. He liked it. And action.
All right. So thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We're going to see you next. No. You are posting testimonials and clips and things on your LinkedIn.
I am.
You are. Somebody is. So
I think that's your company.
Oh, really? We're doing a great job.
Way to stay engaged.
What you should consider doing is sharing those posts. So anything that's posted from Classy Art, you should share it from your personal LinkedIn.
Oh.
And the shared version of that will get significantly more engagement than the original coming from a company, because people like, engaging with people more so than they like engaging with a company.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Could you guys manage my personal LinkedIn account?
I don't know.
Brittany.
Probably.
Because I'm not getting on LinkedIn. Hell, I don't get on Facebook. I barely get on Instagram.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, which I have things that I want to share with you, but I hesitate and often don't share them because I know that it has become a burden for you. You're receiving so many Instagram messages that
The friend homework.
The friend homework that I haven't wanted to further burden you with memes or with videos of people falling down off of ladders.
No, that's the good stuff.
It's one of my favorite things to watch. But all right, yeah. So I'll ask. I'm sure that they could do that.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. Share it to the personal.
Well, and for the viewers, share it from your personal, but wait at least 15 minutes. Don't share it right away, like soon as you post it, because some people will post something and then they'll flip to their personal account and they'll share it from their personal account right away. Wait a little while.
Words
and
of wisdom.
The algorithm will detect that differently than if you immediately share it. You get a little more exposure if you wait a little bit.
Okay.
So, are you afraid of AI?
Am I afraid of
AI?
No, not right now.
Why not? Are you finding any value in it? Are you using it for anything?
Yes, quite a bit. Actually, I would say a year ago, was asked to speak to a group of entrepreneurs on how we utilize AI in our business. That was a year ago.
And you
So
said,
I would love to. When is it? And I can't do that date. But if you make it on any of these other dates, I would love to. But they didn't. So
all right. So are you using it? What are you using it for?
a lot of things. Of course, ChatGPT. It's kind of the one everybody knows, and I have it write lots of things for me, press releases. Had it write a termination letter and a resignation letter. Most
Did
recently,
you resign from Classy Art?
no, not that lucky. I should.
Oh.
I should. Um, we use it for image generation, which is applicable in certain realms. The challenge with image generation is that it can't develop the images in high enough resolution for large scale print. So there is generate this image and then give it to our artists to paint on a canvas, but there's not generate this image, go put it on, print it on glass now.
And is that because, like, is there a pay
We
level
pay.
of?
No, we pay. It's not a pay thing. It's just not there. I mean, I don't see why it's not. I mean, it's feels like the technology's there. If you can do it in 5 inches, why not do it in 50? What's the difference? But
Amen.
we we use it for a lot of image editing, things like that. I can foresee it replacing some job functions within the organization. And I know that's faux pas, but no, I mean, less mistakes, cheaper.
Well, and I would think that the reason that it can't produce images in a higher resolution is because of where it's getting the information to produce the images to begin with. So, if in theory it's getting all of the information from the existing internet,
It's not
most of,
looking at the internet.
well, isn't that where the details are coming from?
No.
Oh,
Most AI platforms are not internet facing.
so where does the data come from? I thought that they were scrubbing the internet, and that's where
Maybe that's where the data sets are coming from, but it's not all of the internet. So it's not like open to the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I want a robot though.
You do.
Oh yeah.
For what?
I don't know.
What
Do
would
my
the robot
laundry,
do?
make my bed, clean my floors. I don't want to do housework.
Well, you can get a person to do that now for less money than a robot.
No, absolutely not. Robots
What?
one time payment.
Yeah, and you think that robot has the dexterity to clean every little space?
I don't know.
within-
Make me dinner. I don't know. Come on, Elon, get it together.
I do not want a robot.
You watch too many movies.
I mean, I do watch some movies, but
It's not going to turn on you, bro.
it will turn on you. Why would it not turn on you?
I don't know.
There's a new there's a new version that doesn't need any input, and it can make decisions on its own, and it can do them preemptively.
So it knows to do the laundry without being asked. Is that what you're
Right.
telling me?
Right.
Sounds perfect.
or I can just figure out the next thing without having any sort of instruction.
Sounds
And that's
awesome.
terrible. I mean,
Sounds
it
awesome.
feels very much like the Terminator.
It's
I'm
not
just-
going to shapeshift on you.
Well, I mean,
It's not going to chase you down in a car.
yet.
All right. Well,
An
enjoy the
assumption.
yet, you know?
The ones that didn't shapeshift were still pretty terrifying.
One of
You
them was
re-
hot as fuck.
Are you talking about Arnold? Yeah. So, what else do you want to know about me?
Nothing. It's
I got-
hot in
I got-
here still.
Nothing. Yeah, you look uncomfortable.
I am.
You're
I
shifting,
think this
you're shifting a
100
lot.
proof whiskey's getting to me.
Do you have the smelling salts there?
Oh, that would be nice. Not
Yeah.
nice, but good. Alex, what happened to the smelling salt videos? Oh, we have a party video coming
Oh, good. Good. That's great.
for the smelling salts. We like to keep it professional. Smelling salts in the showroom.
That's why you got so many orders
Oh, yeah, we're getting them high.
at this market.
Mm-hmm.
Who should we interview next?
Oh, that's a good question. Larry's interview
Larry-
came out good.
Larry, those are getting a lot of attention.
Are they? They look
Yeah.
good. I like them.
Yeah. The clip-on microphones they weren't as loud and clear as the ones we used last time, the handheld.
Yeah, but those
Microphone.
were so annoying.
They are really annoying. But maybe there's something we can learn about that and do,
Turn up the volume.
whether it's positioning or volume or some kind of
Very
way
high
to
tech.
make those better. But yeah, people are interested in what Larry has to say. You know, I feel like he interviewed us more than we interviewed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. And also saying, this is boring. I thought this was supposed to be fun.
Which I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun for parts. I was struggling. I'd been there like, 8 days by that point?
Yeah. Well, it didn't come off on camera.
Good.
You looked fresh.
I felt fresh.
So how was your weekend? Last weekend.
Last weekend was great. This weekend was busy. Just, adulting. Had my
Did you
daughter
have
this
Charlize
weekend.
this weekend?
Mhm. Yeah. Great question.
Well, I really want to hear about last weekend, so we can cut this off if you're.
Yeah. We'll talk about last weekend and the days following last weekend
You know, Rob
offline.
told us we go on too long, anyways.
Oh, there we go.
So
We got permission.
yeah, we can end it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. Joe's glad he could see you.
I got my good eye on you. You guys behave out there.
All right. Signing out. Well, that was nice because we were able to pick the best sellers and things like that. What you found was
Bitch, I can see you falling asleep while I'm telling my
I'm not
story.
falling asleep. Look, just try it.